Earlier in the season I made a video about summer woodland photography in which I started by talking about how little we've had in the way of preferred conditions throughout this year, but also that I was past caring and was quite happy to embrace whatever I'm presented with and enjoy the process. But I think the difficulty for any photographer is having the confidence to know if your work is improving through these extended periods where you feel as if the conditions, timing and location aren't really working out for you. It's something that I've been very conscious of this year, as I've spent a lot less time in misty woodland and more time just kind of reading layers of light and colour in what you might call standard conditions. And I think the consequence of that is perhaps an appearance of having a lot less output, but I like to think that my work has become more refined and well-rounded as a result of being more open-minded and less focused on a preconceived idea of what ideal is, because I think our perception of ideal should be allowed to shift and adapt. The extent of improvement is difficult to gauge, but the rewards are there and become more evident if we just have a little patience. I constantly see language from photographers such as frustration and disappointment rather than embrace and learn. But how we choose to approach and interpret our outings has a significant impact on the enjoyment, the sense of creative value, and how it informs our future outings. All that being said, I very recently almost fell into the trap of abandoning a shoot before I even got started, because I was very briefly but foolishly dismissive of the conditions. I've said for years that even if the camera never comes out of the bag, there's an opportunity to learn, and at the very least I can be present and enjoy a walk with Meg. It was late last Saturday morning and I was walking Meg around the local streets and I noticed fog lingering over the nearby forest. I sent a message to my friend Joe Cornish and asked if there was fog near him too, and he replied with a positive yes, but I need coffee first, he said. After just finishing my own coffee, I gathered my gear and rushed out the door. As I drove along a country road and my woodland of choice came into view, I thought, damn it, I'm too late, as it appeared to be completely devoid of fog and detail in the bright cloud above was evident. Thinking about the other things that I had to do, I turned the car around and started to head home, but I just had this niggling doubt, so I messaged Joe again expressing some of that creatively repressive feeling of disappointment. And at that point he'd already entered the woodland, so I decided to turn the car around again, gave myself a shake and invited back some feelings of anticipation. I was absolutely gobsmacked when I reached the point where Joe was already gleefully making images, because from the outside the woodland looked completely clear, but trapped under the canopy were these pockets of mist that had blown up the hillside, passing by the oak trunks and then dissipating at the woodland edge. The moments were transient but absolutely worth lingering and being ready for. Now typically in woodland I prefer to always be on the move, but in this instance it made sense to set up a composition, snack on some treats, stroke Meg and just wait for the magic to appear. Now barely an hour had passed by and it was all over, and I was just incredibly grateful to have not returned home and have shared the experience and success with Joe. That was a boost in inspiration, so I spent a further 45 minutes trying to find new compositions for a future visit or new interpretations of previous work. So as I was wandering along this hillside, I spotted this scene behind me here, and I saw huge potential here for something that's quite detailed, quite a lot going on, but comes together quite harmoniously, I think. The general flow of the image, well, there's branches going off in different directions, but there's a general flow from right to left with some of the branch structures. But what I really like, there's an avenue, if you like, a view straight through the trees just on the left-hand side, but with lots of detail over on the right-hand side to, kind of give it some context, more things for the eye to enjoy, but some really nice features too, because there's some branches further down, lots of leaf on there helping to fill a space. And also, why I really wanted to include more over on the right-hand side is that there's a tree that comes open and has a very sharp kink to the left, and that's a tree that I've included in a previous image called Flow in the past. It's one that's in my box set, but that was taken from the other side. So I really like the idea of including that same subject in this image. But some beautiful shapes to the tree, and like I said, that recession on the left-hand side, being able to actually include quite a lot in the image, but still get some beautiful separation, a lovely kind of V-shape to the channeling down in the image on the left-hand side, I think is really quite nice. So obviously, I mean, I could see the potential in the composition as the scouting image, but I really wanted to come back and make it work in some more atmospheric conditions, just to kind of sit well with the other images that I've made in this particular woodland in the past. Now, the other composition which I scouted was just there, I can see it from here, and it's slightly different, a little bit more straightforward, but makes use of a very open woodland edge over on the left-hand side, so there's a lot more light tends to come through and hit the trees in that scene. Now, everything was kind of anchored on the left-hand side with a holly tree. The hill just disappears down the right-hand side of the image, and again there's a sense of a path and depth and a recession of trees going into the distance. So again, I'll show the scouting image and see what you make of those. Never, ever underestimate the value of the scouting process, because less than 24 hours later, I returned to even better conditions. I walked straight up to these compositions I've just shown you and just casually shot away as the mist and light danced and shifted over the course of one magical hour. And there's just something very zen about not having to worry about composition, but just to relax and witness the scene transform before you. The most ridiculous thing is that yet again, I almost turned back on the second day, because again, the woodland looked completely clear, but this time there was blue sky and a strengthening breeze. I thought, surely there can't be any mist today. But I decided at the last minute just to treat it as Meg's main walk for the day, take my gear along just in case, and my very low expectations were completely blown out of the canopy as more mysterious blankets of mist passed through. But this time all the details were sublimely lit by this beautiful soft light that was just peeking over the hillside. I adore short but sweet shoots like that, the local ones where you feel entirely prepared, relaxed and in control. Importantly, they serve as a reminder to practice what I preach, because what you think is going to be a photoless wander and scout may well turn out to be one of your most valuable and fruitful outings of the year. So yes, don't make the mistake that I almost made and turn the car around. Just treat it as a relaxed wander and scout, and you may just enjoy the serendipitous thrill of the unexpected. Okay, so that's me done for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it and the images that I showed as well. If so, please give it a thumbs up and leave a comment below. Let me know what you think, because I always very much appreciate reading them. If you'd like to support the production of videos like this, then please check out the support page on my website, where you can donate through PayPal or pledge through Patreon. But your support is very much appreciated. But thanks again for watching, and I hope to see you again very soon.